My one birthday wish for the universe right now is that it doesn't snow. It shouldn't be snowing. Hello, my creatures. It is April 8th, which means it is the first day of Camp Nano week 2. I started this week off at about 800 words behind what I wanted to be total for my manuscript, which was a little bit stressful, but I am determined to catch up this week, which makes it a little sadder for me to announce that at the end of today, at the end of April 8th, I am now 1100 words behind. So it has not been a good day. I just keep getting distracted. I didn't have a lot of creative mojo. I set aside some time to write that I was really excited about, but I wasn't very good at protecting that time. I was letting myself get distracted by people and other things going on. So there is tomorrow. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to make up my words from today if I can. And then get my tomorrow word count goal in. So it has been a little bit of a rough start, but I refuse to give up. This is the week where we hit that 10 to 14 day mark where everyone sort of feels like a lag, and I am determined to get through this lag strong. So I will see you tomorrow where I will have a much more productive day. I'm trying to manifest that good energy. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna write and I'm gonna get up early and I'm gonna get things done. Hopefully. Alright guys, we're gonna have a quick update today because it's late and I keep doing this to myself. It's probably one of my biggest troubles is I really get excited to write in the evening, and that's when I do the majority of my work. But I'm always tired and dragging through the end of it, and it's hard to make update videos if I'm tired and dragging through the end of my work by itself. So it is April 9th. Technically April 10th because it is 1:30 in the morning, but I decided at the beginning of Camp Nano that I'm going to be judging my days from when I wake up to when I go to bed. So this is technically April 9th, and today was supposed to be a 1250 word count day, but I was able to get down 1480 words, which is really exciting, which means not only did I meet my goal, but I am also now 900 words behind instead of 1100 words, which is really exciting. I'm hoping that over the next few days I can keep just overwriting by a couple hundred words so that I can get up to where I want to be in my manuscript. So I'm really excited about today specifically because I had the last few days where I was really just not as motivated to write, and I had a little bit of a slump and I was just tired. I didn't really know what the next stages were going to be as clearly, so it just wasn't as exciting to write. But today me and my dad had a write-in and it was really exciting because he's still part of my inner circle, people that I hang out with, so he's the only one I can really sit down and have a write-in with. So we had gummy bears and sweet tea, and we sat and we worked on our projects, and even though I didn't get a whole lot done, I feel like this was our most productive write-in, so we're going to keep getting better and better about having them together. I feel like we're really good at distracting each other, but it's because good company, you know? Yeah, so after I was at his house writing, I came home and I was just in the mood to write more, and I had told myself I'm gonna write 500 more words and go to bed, and I ended up doing 800 more words. So I was really excited that I was able to meet my goal and then do a little bit more. So hopefully this is the start to my second wind of the beginning of Camp Nano, but I will be checking in with you guys tomorrow. It is April 10th. For some reason it is snowing outside. I was really upset about that. I've been cold since late afternoon, so I have this big fuzzy blanket that I've wrapped around me on the desk. I have dug myself into a horrible hole again today where I haven't started writing yet. It is 11 o'clock now, a little bit after 11, and I am just getting to the point where I'm okay, I gotta get some writing done, where I should have woke up and got writing done and then did my other things and then got more writing done, but that is not how today panned out. Thankfully, yesterday it was supposed to be a 1250 word count day, and yesterday I was able to write right under 1500 words, so it made it so that I was a little bit less behind, which is always exciting, and that was supposed to be my goal for today, but because of how late it is, I will try to get my 1250 words in, of course, before I go to bed, but I doubt I'm going to get a whole lot extra in. I might get there and then retire for the night. It just depends on how quickly those words come out, and it really depends on how much I'm really into the scene that I'm writing. These vlog videos are taking a little bit more time just to piece together because of how many parts there were, and I guess wasn't prepared to block out the time to do that. But that video will probably be up tomorrow, and it'll be out of my hair, and I'm going to make a better system for this next one. But my goal for tonight is everything else is put aside. I'm going to write until I get tired, and hopefully I can get past the 1650 words. So tomorrow is actually another 1250 word day. So today was just a little spike in, can I get some extra words done? But tomorrow we go back down to 1250, which I think will be really easy to achieve. Tomorrow is actually my birthday, which is really exciting. I don't have any plans because like quarantine and everything, but I will probably like go over to my parents' house and write and eat dinner with them and stuff. My dad's also doing NaNoWriMo, so I have high hopes that it's gonna be a really chill day. My one birthday wish for the universe right now is that it doesn't snow. It like shouldn't be snowing. I get like I live a little bit more north and it's cold a little bit longer. I was like complaining about the snow today, and my mom had told me like the year I was born or a couple years later there was like a huge snowstorm in April, which just makes me sad. I hate being cold. So I'm gonna curl up on my couch probably with my fuzzy blanket so I can get away from this window and get some writing done. Happy Easter, my creatures. I haven't done an update since Thursday, and that's probably because I haven't really written a lot since Thursday, which I feel like I shouldn't be as okay with as I am. But I had a really busy weekend. I told myself I wasn't going to get caught in like the end of the second week slump where I was going to let myself go and I wasn't going to be writing words every day, but I sort of did get swept up in that, not because of the usual reasons. And the usual reasons are something along the lines of I was a little bit burned out, or I got a little bit tired of what I was writing, or I thought of a new idea. My reasons were just because I randomly got a little bit busy over the weekend, and I really hope that that's the only reason I didn't write, because I have a lot of work to do still, but I was able to do a little bit of writing today. It is about 11 o'clock, and that's normally whenever I start my writing for the day, but I have 1,400 words done. Today was a 1,250 word count day. I'm actually going to call it quits at 1,400 because I have some other things I want to take care of. I recently started a master class. I'm very excited. My parents actually got me a master class pass for my birthday, so my goals are to take every single writing related masterclass over the next year, and I'm very excited to do that. So on Friday I just had like a lot of random things that went on that took up my time, but on Saturday it was actually my birthday, and Friday night I thought that I was just going to be writing all day Saturday because of quarantine and lockdown, but I am of course still like seeing and visiting my parents, and we decided to have like a little game night. So I spent Saturday morning baking, and by the time I was done we had decided to do this game night. So I did dinner, and then I was like straightening up my house, and they came over, and by the time they left I was just not in the mood to write. It was such a fun night, but it definitely took all of my creative energy, so I ended up just calling it a night then. But today's Easter, and I've sort of gotten back into the swing of things, and I'm really hoping that this rolls over into my tomorrow video. I don't really have anything going on like in the foreseeable future for this week, so I really hope that I can catch up on a little bit of what I was behind with over the weekend just from not writing. So for the first time over the weekend, I dipped down under the path to success on the NaNoWriMo website, which was like a little like shock to me, because not only am I below my goals now, but I am below like what I needed to write every day to finish, and this was the first time that I dipped down under it. So if I can get back up tomorrow and only be under that line for a day, that would be really ideal, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I like can only write so much and keep my sanity. So I will check back in with you guys tomorrow. Hello, welcome to April 13th. My productivity from yesterday did carry over a little bit, so I was very excited about that. So far I have written about 1,200 words, and I have a little bit more writing energy left in me. I think I'm going to get a little bit more done. I did the math with my like goals that I set for myself for the month, and if I had met all of those, I should have been up to 20,000 words in my manuscript, and I'm only up to right above 15, so I am a solid 5,000 words behind. I hope it doesn't get any worse. I hope I only get better from here, but I really want to like buckle down this next week and just finish it. So I only have one day left in this week 2 of Nano. I've been doing my weeks from Wednesday to Tuesday since it started on Wednesday, but yeah, I don't want to get any more behind. I want to keep pushing forward. I still want to write today, so I have high hopes for overwriting a little bit. I think my goal was 1,600 words today, I'm pretty sure. So I'm only a couple hundred words off from that, so I'm definitely going to meet it because I'm probably going to be writing a little bit more after I shut the camera off. But I also have a video that I want to get edited today. I want to do these vlog videos on Friday, but the last video I had a lot of problems with my editing software, so it was taking longer to do things because the playback function wasn't working while I was editing. So yeah, that made it really difficult. I actually think I'm probably going to meet my goal for today, and I'm going to take a break and do a little bit of research on better software to use, because this really just isn't working. Like, it's taking so much longer to piece together these clips than it should be. So I am a little bit worried that that's going to hinder my ability to write because I need to finish this video and get it out today. So I'm going to meet my goal, I'm going to work on that, and then usually when I research getting new things, I get really excited about things. So I'm going to try to practice restraint, and I'm just going to like watch some videos, watch some reviews, I'm going to sleep on it. Hopefully it won't affect my writing too much tomorrow. I have, since I've last talked to you guys, made a mess of my desk. I have collected a small like thing of candles, I have like books, I have stacks of colored pencils and pens just for my bullet journal on my desk, and I have a bunch of stuff over here that are like out of the frame. Like I take notes for my masterclass on my iPad while I like watch on my laptop. So I have like all this stuff floating around on my desk, and I really just need to fix it. I don't think it'll be the same until I fix it. I had such a productive, like clean workspace for a while there. I can't see myself meeting my goal for this week either, which is really kind of sad because my goal for this week was 10,000 words, and last week I had written a little bit over 11,000 words, so I feel like I'm losing progress. But I did have a busy weekend, so I'm trying not to beat myself up about it. Hello my creatures, welcome to the 14th, the last day of week 2, and this is my general week 2 update vlog. Quick updates. I failed at my goal again. I am at 8,000 words instead of 10,000 words for the week, but 8,000 words is like a lot. That's like a big accomplishment for the week. So I don't want to be disappointed that I wrote 8,000 words, but also on the days where I'm writing, I really seem to be meeting my goals. I just have a couple days here and there that I either like write very little or write half as much, and it's usually because like I get headaches often, or like something came up and I was a little bit more busy. So it just seems weird, like my goals feel realistic, but I'm not giving myself any breaks. So what I think I'm gonna do next year for the weekly goals, instead of setting a weekly goal and breaking it up by day, I think I'm gonna assign myself daily goals first, and then my weekly goal is gonna be like 2,000, 3,000 under what my daily goal is. I think that might be like the healthiest thing to do for me, but I really still think I'm gonna make the 35,000 words. I'm like floating around the path to success now on the NaNoWriMo website, so I really think that I'm gonna make the 35,000 words in the month. Other non-writing related updates: I cut my bangs. I think I did a pretty good job of that. I do it a couple times usually in between like long haircuts, but it seems to be like the quarantine thing to do. Everyone's cutting their bangs. I also live in this cardigan now. This is my new favorite cardigan. It's just like nice and dense. I also found it in a box. I don't know where I got it. I think somebody gave it to me. If you left it at my house, I'm sorry, it's mine now. I live in it. It's what's happening. I also have like a temporary new favorite tea. It's these K-cups. It's raspberry lemon flavored green tea, and I love it. Normally it's like I can drink Earl Grey tea every day until I die, but occasionally I get into these moods where I really like want to be drinking a specific flavor, and right now it is raspberry lemon. I put a bunch of honey in it. It is my happy zone. I think I've burned this candle every day this week. I haven't really had a change in smell, and I have a lot that I want to do for next week. So at the end of last week's vlog, I did like how I could make this week better, and my solution was to make bullet point like checklist things, like to-do lists. Full disclosure, I didn't do that as much as I should have. Usually that's my go-to whenever I really want to be more productive, is to make really clear checklists, and I usually crank through things like that pretty often, but because I'm not on a set like sleeping, eating, going to work schedule like I normally am, I think it's really messing with that. So I have a couple systems that I want to put in place for this next week to make it a little bit more productive, hopefully. I want to try that post-it note method. So we see people do post-it notes on like the wall or a whiteboard. I have a chalkboard wall behind where I normally shoot, so maybe I'll try to use that. But you put post-it notes up, and each post-it note has something you want to do for your project on it, and then as you finish doing it, you move it over, and it becomes like a visual representation of like how much work you're getting done. I think that would be really good to add. I have a couple non-writing related things that I think it's really important I do for my project before the month is over. Things like organization and fixing my point of view. So I was really convinced that I wanted to write in third person at the beginning, and I was writing and I liked it and I liked where it was going, but then I kept like sort of switching between third person and first person, and I just remember thinking that some things seem to be better explained in first person. So I decided, like, I'm gonna write this in first person. I'm gonna commit to doing this just a couple thousand words in, like 2 or 3. So I wrote about 12 or 13,000 words after that in first person. Like I committed and I did it, and I said, okay, I'm writing in first person now, that's what I'm going to do. And now that I'm a little bit farther in the story, it really just feels more natural to write in third person, and it just feels really weird to write in first person. I don't know why. I think it's that a lot of the books that I read right now are written in third person, and I feel bad that that might be affecting my writing, but it very well might be. But I took some of my favorite books off the shelf and I flipped them open, and every single one of them was written in third person. It kind of just hit my heart and told me, like, maybe I should go through and change this all to third person. I also had a couple scenes where I like wrote them a little bit out of order, and I have to rearrange them in my Scrivener where I know they want to go. That way when I look back on it, everything's in the order that I sort of am envisioning it. My memory is really bad, so I really think that if I let some scenes be out of order now and I just leave them and say I'll fix it later, I really think if I do that, that at the end of the book, I'm gonna confuse myself. So at the very latest, the most I feel like I can put that off until is the end of the month. Like if I wrote and wrote and wrote this month and I went back at the end of the month, I think I could survive with that. But I don't want to let it go any further past April. So I think I'm going to do the Post-it note system, and on the Post-it note system, I'm going to include like word count milestones, like maybe every 5,000 words or so. And then I'm also going to include things like changing the point of view and rearranging the things. And I actually have to move my documents into Scrivener. So I really like Scrivener, and I think it is a great writing program. It is one of the best organizational programs I've used for writing, and I really like the whole way it's set up. But I'm really currently addicted to this writing RPG game called For the Words. It keeps me motivated, it makes sure that I write enough. It is a little bit like cartoony when you look at it at first, but I really feel like most games that we play are generally cartoony. So like I seen it, I'm like, oh, this isn't very realistic, and then I took a moment and I was like, but what game really is? So what you do is you fight these creatures, and the way you fight them is you have to type a certain number of words in a certain amount of time. And some of the time frames are a little bit quicker, but some of them are very generous, like writing 200 words in 45 minutes. They do have creatures that are like structured around the NaNoWriMo like month, where you write 1,667 words every day. So they have creatures that are like in 24 hours you have to write that much. So it is super supportive. They have bigger events every time there is a NaNoWriMo event. So Camp NaNoWriMo and NaNoWriMo in November, they have events in game. So I do a lot of my writing in this game, and they do have a pretty nifty organizational system that you can take like projects, like you can separate things into individual projects, and then you can separate things into sections, and then you can further separate things into files, and it's very intuitive. But my problem is I write and I write and I write, and then I write the next thing, and then I go back and say, okay, the break should have been 1,000 words, 2,000 words ago, and that needs moved into a new file, and I don't always do that right away, which is bad habit, terrible habit, but I just get in the zone of getting it out. So part of what I want to do next week is to move everything into my Scrivener file and get it all organized. The one downside of this game is it's in like the internet browser. So it stormed a few nights ago, and like the power was blinking. It never really went off, but the Wi-Fi was totally like unusable. So my game shut off while I was using it, and then of course it was really easy to open my project up and go into Scrivener. But if I don't have my stuff moved over, that makes it a little bit harder. But yeah, I have high hopes for this next week. It's kind of funny saying that because I said the same thing last week, but I have high hopes for this next week. I want to do a little bit of planting now that it's getting a little bit warmer. I say that even though it's supposed to snow on Friday, but it's Pittsburgh, so the weather changes like every other day. Like maybe tomorrow they'll say it won't ever snow again, and then maybe tomorrow there'll be a hailstorm. No one really knows. But I seen this thing on Instagram that I really liked of planting seedlings in tea bags, like used tea bags, and I go through so many tea bags that I really want to try that. I also want to try the planting things in like empty eggshells. So I'm going to have to start collecting all of my eggshells, but I am really excited because if I plant things, it'll be like the little plant is growing as my story is growing and developing, and maybe by the time I have a finished book, I'll also have like catnip and chives and cantaloupe, because those are the seeds I found around my house, and I'm excited about it. But if you just happened upon this video and you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I will be posting videos like this every week for the duration of NaNoWriMo. Events, probably all the events in the future. I really enjoy being a part of them. But this project is a lot more promising than my last one, and I'm really excited to see where it goes, and I hope that you are as well. Stay safe, stay creative, and keep writing.